Netflix in the past year or so has come out with some pretty cool hits, but unfortunately for years they've had a tendency of canceling really good shows while renewing bad ones. I'm looking at you, Big Mouth. But earlier this year, a cool horror show called Archive 81 dropped on Netflix. And despite being phenomenal and almost renewed, Netflix decided to cancel it. The showrunners were all set to start pre-production of season 2. Yet despite being cancelled and ending on a massive cliffhanger, I believe Archive 81 has the makings of a cult classic. So this Halloween, I decided to do a video to highlight just how good it actually was, how it builds tension and mystery, how it makes the viewer doubt what they're actually seeing, and how it balances two storylines set in two different time periods. For this video, I'll only be talking about the earlier episodes, as I actually want people to go look at it themselves. The story centers around Dan Turner, a film archivist who restores old footage and puts them to digital. A shady businessman contacts him to restore footage from a missing filmmaker named Melody Pendress. It's believed she perished in a fire at the Visser apartment building in New York City sometime in the mid-90s. The apartment and its tenants were the center of her film, so Dan is sent to work at a remote compound where Melody's footage is being kept. As Dan restores the footage, the story cuts back and forth between the present and the 90s, where we follow our secondary protagonist, Melody Pendress. It feels almost like a different take on the found footage genre. As the show progresses, Dan not only feels like he's being spied on, but he also feels like him and Melody have some strange connection he isn't being told about. Meanwhile, Melody tries to learn all she can about the tenants of the Visser, its history, and the possible connection it has with her birth mother, which is the real reason why she's there in the first place. Yet both Dan and Melody begin to realize all is not well with the tenants of the Visser. In addition, Dan is also starting to see things. In fact, it seems the longer he works on the footage, the more his sanity is called into question, as he begins to start seeing and interacting with Melody in the compound itself. One of the best signs of good horror is when you, the audience, cannot tell whether or not supernatural forces are in play, or if the protagonist's mental health is just deteriorating. And I think a lot of it can be attributed to the amazing acting.
Please help. Fuck you! Get your hand off you! No!
Melody.
What are you doing here?
Everything's okay.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Everything's gonna be fine.
No!
Dad?
No! 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 Get the fuck off me! Get the... What are you doing here?
It's okay. Everything's okay.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Everything's gonna be fine.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Everything's gonna be fine.
No!
What's happening?
No! 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 Get the fuck off me! Get the fuck off me! What the fuck are you doing here?
Archive 81 is also as much a mystery show as it is a horror show, as both protagonists are trying to uncover the truth, whether or not it's Melody believing there might be a cult at the Visser, or Dan trying to figure out why he was even hired to do this in the first place. Nothing feels like it's being revealed too early or too late, giving you enough intrigue and mystery for you to continue watching and providing those answers later on. And while the whole show feels like a complete story arc, there was definitely set up with the idea of expansion, but even with the cliffhanger, all the relevant mysteries are answered and resolved by the end of the 8 episodes. Some of the best horror movies and shows also end on ambiguous notes, so a lot of those unanswered questions don't really harm the rewatchability or enjoyment of this series. So if you're looking for something spooky to watch during this October, I highly recommend watching Archive 81. I'm hoping more people discover and find out about this show and what could have been, but also enjoy what an amazing season it was, how well crafted it is, and how all its different components blend so well together, from the music to the flow to everything. Thank you all for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and to check out Archive 80Y. This is Dash Attack, wishing you all a safe yet frightening October.